Been a journey. Lots of learning has happened, and I've been newly sharing my journey over on Instagram and here on YouTube, and sources that has helped me as a new homeschooling mama. So I've gotten some questions from some parents who are interested in homeschooling, considering homeschooling for this coming school year. So I thought I'd share some of the resources that have helped me get started. But I am in New York State, so just know that all states have different requirements for homeschooling. So if you're not in New York State, please contact HSLDA, which is a legal resources, and they will help you. They can give you any information for all states, and they're the best thing. They're legal resources, they're attorneys, and they have all the answers that you could possibly ask, which is where I started. That was my first step to just learning the requirements for my state, New York, and knowing how to get started. So I knew for sure that I would be homeschooling my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old. They are young, and in New York State, you don't have to start of 6, but I have decided that I wanted to get a head start. Being a new homeschooling mama and having so many questions and a little self-doubt too, I'll be completely honest, there has been self-doubt because we question ourselves on whether or not we can teach our children, but we are our children's first teacher. So of course we can. So remove that self-doubt from your mind because you are completely capable of doing so. So starting with my 4-year-old, I wanted to know all the resources, make sure I was going to be doing everything legally and all the standards that had to be met. At that time, my 12-year-old was in public school, and we finally made the decision to pull him out for many reasons. We'll share later on in videos, but for right now, we decided to pull him out at 12 years old, 7th grade, mid-year, and I wanted to make sure that I did it correctly and that I did make sure to contact HSLDA legal resources, and they steered me in the right direction. So the first thing that I did have to do was fill out a letter of intent, and the letter of intent had to be submitted to the district superintendent of my state. And then I was also told that I should attach the letter of intent to the school where my son had attended, so I did so. I had emailed the dean of the school the letter of intent, nothing else, no further information, just the letter of intent, which states that my son will be homeschooled and the year that we'd be homeschooling, which was 2022 to 2023, which is when we started. And with that, I submitted the letter of intent, and then as follows, I submit quarterly reports, which entail the subjects that he'll be taking, how many hours, physical activity, and all the classes. And in New York State, from 3rd grade through 8th grade is required to take some standardized test. So test online, or your child can take the test at home where you do it online, or they mail it to you, the child takes the test, and then you can submit it. So like I said, first thing I reached out, legal resources. Second thing was letter of intent. And then with all the information that I received, I learned that I had to make sure that I had 4 quarterly reports for each quarter, each semester. And then at the end of the year, which we just did in June, was the IHIP, individualized home instruction plan, which states what my son will be doing for the following school year, so 2023 to 2024, and it just shares all the subjects he'll be taking, how many hours, the physical activity, and everything that we're going to be doing at home. And we are in a homeschool group, a co-op, so that is also added onto there. If you're part of a co-op or you're seeking a co-op, just know that whatever you do there goes on to that annual report. And then after that, you just make sure that you're following along with your state requirements for the hours that your child has to make sure that they do for the school year. And in many states, they require different things. In New York State's one of the states that requires more for homeschooling parents to make sure that they dot their I's and cross their T's. But there are some states that there are really no rules to homeschooling. There's a lot of families who choose to unschool, and if you are choosing or looking into unschooling, make sure that you read your state requirements. Just make sure that the paperwork thing when you decide to homeschool is your why. You have to know why you've chosen to homeschool. You have to know why you have decided to take this path, and sit down, write some notes, sit with yourself and really think it through, because it is a large investment. It is a big decision, and I just want to let you know that you are completely qualified to homeschool your children. I know there's doubt as a new homeschooler. I have been there. I am still there, learning a lot of things. Like I've said, my son was in public school until he was 12 and removed, and I have a 4-year-old that I'm going to be teaching to read and learning all the things, and then my 2-year-old is going to be right after. So I understand that feels like a lot of pressure and that you have to be perfect as soon as you start and you have to know all the things. But just understand that you are your child's teacher for the first 4 years until you decide you're sending them off to preschool, you're sending off to a public school. You are their teacher, the structure that they're in. So you need to just understand that there may be doubt that fills your mind. There may be different opinions that don't align with your beliefs and your thoughts, but you are the parent, and if you know that you have a strong why, and no one loves your child as much as you. So when you have that why and you've made that decision to homeschool, just know that you are going to do great. It is learning. It takes a lot of discipline and just believing in yourself. Day by day you'll learn. There are a lot of co-op groups that you can join, that if you're looking for a community, there are a lot of groups on Facebook and other social media outlets that you can join. If you're looking for a community or just to share thoughts and hear some other people's experiences, there are so many ways that you can find your resources. And just know, if you're a mama who's starting with a real 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, just know that you need the basics. You are gonna sit there and teach them the basics. You need crayons and glue and scissors, simple basics. You don't have to go all out buying all these curriculums until you feel you and your child are ready to do so. And there are going to be a lot of resources that you can use, and just take your time and enjoy the process. It is a learning process, and just know that your why is the most important thing, and because you love your child, you're going to do all things right by your child. So if I can help in any way, and please leave your comments down below, and I would love if you like this video to like and subscribe.